Alrighty, I'm going to start out because I forgot to mention, I think it was 2 videos ago when I brought up the SEERS 2025 is, blah, 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 next pandemic being prepared. Who the hell knows? Also known as catastrophic contagion. And I was referencing that with the Deagel report that in 2025, if we go to the end of 2025, we almost got 3 full years. But could something happen? Of course it could. But they're claiming a population reduction of 200 million, which is fucking huge. But, you can throw in, like I forgot to mention, like they got the bird flu here in Denver. Stay away from ducks and geese because they're dropping dead. I think there's only like 10 or 12 at the moment that they found anyway. Can you combine that with the triple demic and the white lung that's in China, but not like fucking huge or anything? But, in this 2025 thing, only 20 million dead, but then they said, I don't know how many, they just said tens or whatever thousands paralyzed or brain dead, but let's move on. And a new one I stumbled across, the SPARS pandemic 2025 to 2028 by John Hopkins, but let's pause here. And this is just going through the same thing as they did with COVID, but it's a long read, but let's pause here. And that was posted, at least on this one, Center for Health Security, March 5th of 2020. And a little bit of funniness here combined with their propaganda and stuff, but it says, in the year 25, the world has become simultaneously more connected, yet more divided. Nearly universal access to wireless internet, new technology, including internet accessing technology, IAT, thin, flexible screens that can be temporarily attached to briefcases, backpacks, or clothing. Used to stream content from the internet. Well, that hasn't happened, at least not yet. Has provided a means for readily sharing news and information. However, many have chosen to self-restrict the sources they turn to for information. Blah, blah, blah. Electing to interact only with those whom they agree, which is true. Very, very true. The trend has increasingly isolated cliques from one another, making communications across these groups more and more difficult. Pause here. And since I got it screenshot, our population is supposed to go from 327 million to 100 million in 2025. Moving on. Then I stumbled across this one, Global Trends 2025, A Transformed World. This is not about a pandemic, but I'm going to show some screenshots. It is a long read. I'm going to read out the middle here because I brought this up in videos a month or 2 or 3, whatever ago, about Russia going into the Ukraine for the food, the animal, the wildlife, cattle, and the wheat and all that good shit. But this says how quickly climate change occurs and the locations where its impact is most pronounced. Over here, climate change is likely to exacerbate resource scarcities, particularly water scarcities. And I guarantee you that's happening right now. And right below that, this is also what I'm saying that countries are doing. They're self-isolating. I didn't think about what they call nationalism. But descending into a world of resource nationalism increases the risk of great power confrontations. And that's exactly what we're seeing in Russia right now. And like I said, that's why China took the South China Sea, because the South China Sea, at least at the time, contained 10 to 12% of the world's fished out fish. But pause here. As some countries become more invested in their economic well-being and food resources, incentives toward geopolitical stability would increase. However, transfers strengthening states like Russia that want to challenge a Western order, shrinking economic and military capabilities may force U.S. into a difficult set of trade-offs between domestic versus foreign policy priorities. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing wrong with our capabilities. That's just kind of a cop out. I think they're still having a hard time getting people, but you see the picture of what's going on. The pace of technological let me pause here. I jacked up. I don't know what that for sale by the superintendent means, but that one I was just reading from right there was actually done in November of 2008. And this is the last one, short. This is I'd seen part of this like a couple years ago. I think this came out. I should have looked again in 2009. But talk about the poison waters around the U.S., Puget Sound, and I forget the other couples they addressed. But so you're looking at 14 years later, and you know damn well the water is much, much worse. But it, like that other one with Michael, when Michael Moore was involved, just excellent shit of what's going on. And it's people, I don't get it why these channels over the years, they've bitched about or supported, you know, or went against, you know, the government claiming that they're hardening the infrastructure and all that shit. No, they're not. Maybe they're shit, and I guarantee you they're not even doing that. They're way past worried about nuclear wars. You know, they got their bunkers, they got their bases. They know they know. We all know they know it's coming. But you know, fuck it. I think I'm gonna end this here. Just to mention some crap in days gone by. Remember when, you know, what the fear porn, you know, with the Mandela effect, where they were changing lines in movies or cereal boxes, like if they were going to go back in time, they wouldn't like get rid of the Second Amendment, change the course of a war, or president, you know, all that. Oh, and remember Minority Report with Tom Cruise, and that came out. We got to see all this wonderful shit. Oh, they're going to start charging us with pre-crime. And I brought this up before, but in the movie, in Minority Report, them SEERS or whatever the hell they were legit. They could actually stop murders. But then when the bad guy that ran the place, of course, killed somebody. But anyway, it's just bullshit. And see you later. Bye.